Thanks.
Okay, Jerry.
Okay, thank you, Jen. Good evening and welcome to the Borough Park Summit Council meeting, February 4th, 2026. In attendance, we have Grady. Present. Ms. Semrau. Present. Solicitor Carlack.
Present.
Steve Ruza.
Here.
Mr. Mitchell.
Here.
Mayor Kelly.
Here.
Jen Basalega.
Here.
Jean Hallinan.
Here.
Bob Shields isn't here yet. Chief Yarns.
Here.
And both our junior council members are absent this evening. We'll stand for a moment of meditation. And we'll have our chief lead us in the pledge of allegiance.
Please pledge allegiance to the flag.
Jen, do we have for anyone that would like to address council on our agenda for tonight?
Public comment, input? Absolutely, right after we approve the minutes.
Okay, good enough then. Just wanted to double check
Absolutely,
that.
sure.
We have a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Thank you, Josh. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Steve. On the question, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, 6-0. And we have a motion to approve the minutes of the January 5th Borough Council meeting.
Motion to approve.
Thank you. Second,
I'll second it.
thank you, Jean. On the question, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The next on our agenda is our public comment. So anybody who would like to address council, you can just step up to the podium. And just identify yourself and let us know how we can help you out.
I guess I'll go. I didn't know if this was the right time to do it. I was hoping we were on the agenda. My name is Scott Shinko. I'm here on behalf of a nonprofit, called Clark Clement Goes Pink. And we submitted a special, permit application back in September to hold an event, hopefully here.
We did talk about this last meeting. They are aware of a special event.
Okay.
So yes, no, it's good that you're here.
Okay, we
Yes.
wanted to come, we thought we were on the agenda, it was gonna be voted on, we wanted to bring our group here to answer any questions if anyone had anything for us, so that's why we're here today.
Excellent. We don't need to, they don't need to vote, but it's good that you're here in case there were any questions about it.
Okay,
Excellent.
alright, thank you.
Okay, Scott, the date of the event and that if you just want.
Yeah, we're hoping to have it, August 15th. And we put all of the information in the permit application. There was a site plan in there. There was an emergency response plan. It is a 5K. We're hoping to do a 5K, run and a 1 mile walk as well. The map of the race route is in there as well, using all streets within the borough. And we wanna, move forward with planning the event. There's a lot that we have to do, and we don't wanna get too far ahead of ourselves. We just wanna make sure that it is approved by borough, so we can move forward with the plan.
I apologize. Do you have a plan in place for like, dealing with traffic issues, traffic?
We do, Bruce, I'll
Yeah.
kind of kick that over to you.
Sure. I'll just come up here. and,
Yeah.
Maybe we can get them copies of this at some point, blown up a little bit, but, my name is Bruce Reddock. I'm serving as the race director for this event. All friends of mine, I'm serving in a volunteer capacity, because obviously this is important. I come from a long background of race management events, so if anyone's familiar with the Wyoming Valley Run, down in Luzerne County, 10-mile event, over 1,000 participants annually. My former company that I owned, we were the management group that put that on. So while that was a heavy lift, because we worked with 5 different municipalities, of course, and the police department and EMS and whatnot, that doesn't take away from the type of quality work that we're gonna do here. So what I think we can do is eventually share this plan or get this plan to you as soon as possible. to add another layer onto that, as far as safety, traffic, all sort of the important emergency elements are concerned, we'll coordinate meetings, well in advance leading up to that to ensure that the police department is okay with our plan and will, you know, be a participant with us. But also about a month prior, we'll bring all emergency services together. So that'll be EMS, that'll be the police department. If DPW is involved with helping control intersections, whoever's sort of involved in the emergency elements of race day, we'll have that briefing 1 month prior to the event. This way, if there are any questions, concerns, we can kind of get those ironed out in advance. And then the other piece that we work on with respect to this is going to be at the finish line. Obviously in August, it has potential to be really hot. Again, it's a 5K event, but I like to err on the side of caution. So safety and quality are my #1 priorities when it comes to the events. So we will have a medical station, and to be determined on who's going to man that or staff that, whether that's local EMS or whether we are able to get a partner in the medical space, for example, not committing to this, but just saying whether it's the Wright Center, Geisinger, whoever it may be. And then in addition to that, I will loop in Luzerne County, or I'm sorry, I'm in the wrong county here, but Lackawanna County emergency management, so that this way, in the event, worst case scenario, mass casualty event, anything along those lines, everyone is fully prepared. The hospitals will be notified as well. This way they can be prepared. More than likely, I can tell you just from my prior race experiences, the only issues we have are dehydration. Almost never do we see anything serious, but again, I prefer to err on the side of caution, of course. And like I said, safety and quality are my two #1 priorities with these events. So I'm happy to answer any questions if anyone has any.
And that'd be my only concern is like, you know, the route, I'm looking at it here and I see it goes up through Flora Park and in the residential areas not as bad. When you get in these downtown areas and we have that proper staffing on people across the street. I don't know what your plans are as far as having, do you have volunteers that do this? I know.
Yeah.
The Steamtown Marathon, for example, they have, there's this pretty good sized outfit there where they have,
Right.
you know, several, I don't know how many, but a lot of volunteers.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's, I think, two-part answer to that question. So first and foremost, as indicated in the event safety plan that we put together, any of those areas that go to the residential communities of Clark Summit, we're going to limit that to 1 lane. So we're going to cone down the middle this way, whether it's the occasional vehicle that has to get through or even an emergency services vehicle in a worst case scenario. We'll have cones lined up in the middle of the street to create that separate lane this way. We're not obstructing traffic entirely. As for the intersections, yes, the intent is to have volunteers. What we've discussed or our priority would be that at those intersections, those are adult volunteers. So we'll consider them like course marshals essentially. This way we have adults that are highly competent and have the ability to make sure that the runners are safe, of course. And then once we come back down from, is that Winola Road? Forgive me, I don't live in Clark Summit.
At the end, yeah.
Yeah, so their runners are gonna be restricted to the sidewalk there, over by where the Garrity's is.
Right on the bridge?
Yeah, right at the bridge there. This way, none of that traffic has to be shut down. At that point in the race, anyone who's ever even just witnessed the race, whether it's a 5K or a full marathon, the crowd is pretty thinned out, so you'll have just trickles of runners coming through. So that's why we felt that we could utilize the sidewalk and not have to shut down that intersection at State Street and Winola Road.
A little future, because when I'm looking at this map, looks like it goes up West Grove Street. But then it also looks like it goes through.
Doesn't it cross Grove Street twice?
Yeah,
Correct,
yeah.
correct, yes.
Those are probably your biggest spots for.
Yes,
Yeah.
crossing the state roads there would be, the biggest areas of concern.
Where does it go? I was thinking it goes, look like to get to the Flora Park, it goes up into. Nap Road?
Then go up Bissell and then Nap and then. up
Okay,
Nap.
because it looks like it goes up West Grove Street here where Bedford Street meets. There's an old dot on the map here, it looks like.
We're gonna go, is Bedford the back street or I'm bad? Yeah, it's gonna go up Bedford to take a right on Grove and then take the first left before you get to the bridge on Grove. And then go behind, and then go Nap, the back side of Nap behind CSE. And then go up through Floral Park.
Yeah, I guess just my only concern is, you know, when you get something like this big, we don't have the staff. We don't have the staff,
Yeah.
you know, so if you're bringing staff, that's.
Yeah, and we're still somewhat early in that part of planning, but I think we're well ahead of the game. In all honesty, we've already identified who we're gonna target for volunteers. Obviously, you know, the high school with respect to their sports teams, those students will be critical for our water stations. We don't want to put them in intersections, but the easy catch for us on that is to leverage their parents. So if we can get their parents to serve as volunteers at our major intersections, that's gonna be our mission. And then, you know, we have a fairly sizable, well, I shouldn't say we, I'm volunteering for the board, but the board is fairly sizable where we can also deploy some of our board members out if need be.
The other ones in Lackawanna College, the Act-120
Yep.
program, they're required.
Yeah, and they do Steamtown, Scranton Half,
Yeah,
Marathon.
and I would say the Steamtown Marathon people sometimes do these kind of things.
Absolutely, yeah.
But that's just my concern.
Yeah, and,
I heard you say, no, the DPW, but I don't know if the DPW be working on a Saturday and Sunday.
Right, they would.
That's-
my reference to that was if they have barricades, cones, anything that they could help provide just to help with that. It's not, we're not, you know, hedging our bets on that necessarily, because there's an obligation obviously on the committee to make sure that we're fully adequate with what we're gonna do. But if there was an opportunity for DPW to serve as a partner in that capacity, but I am happy to, you know, have a phone call with you. If you wanna meet, we can further.
I think we probably should meet. Just
Yeah.
to, you know.
Yeah, we can walk through sort of the plan and the route and what our mission and what we're looking to do on those certain intersections are, or all intersections rather.
The DPW could leave out the supplies, the cones, or whatever it is that you need, whatever we have, they could leave it out and then you can put them wherever you need them.
Yeah, that would
That's
be
generally
perfect.
how we do it, so.
That would be perfect.
We'll just have to let you know what you need.
Yeah, and for us, in all honesty, the way we're gonna approach that is, that would sort of be a last resort option if need be, if we needed an extra barricade somewhere, or we need an extra set of cones, but Scott and I talked earlier today actually about a cone situation, so we're gonna exhaust all of our opportunities first, and, you know, we don't wanna put the burden on the municipality. That's not our goal here. We wanna partner with you and, hopefully bring what could potentially be the largest 5K in Lackawanna County, if not Lackawanna and Luzerne. So, like I said, I come from a pretty serious background with putting on these types of events. Former runner, my wife, who's my partner in all this, she's, you know, run multiple marathons, full marathons, half marathons, et cetera. So, we're here because this is our backyard, even though we don't live in Clark Summit, we are in Lackawanna County. We want to make sure that, you know, we're here to help support the local community and see how we can make that happen and really make a huge event and a splash here.
What's your crowd estimate as far as participation? How many people?
It's difficult to say. I think the board has a goal. You know, I think it's a very attainable goal. Would you say 500 would be?
Hoping.
500 participants?
Your biggest concern, I think, and I can't remember, your application was in our packet last week and we all did look at it, but I don't remember if this was in there. Where are you gonna park all those people, I guess is the question.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit. We're thinking of using possibly CSC because it is close.
Yeah.
We do have a club approved through the school. That's why my daughter is here. She's heading that club up at the school. So we're partnering with the school district as well. Bruce mentioned volunteers, you know, we're gonna go put something out to all the clubs and teams to get their help and involvement. So I think we have a good relationship with the school district too. So we plan on asking to use CSE for some of their parking. I think we talked about
I had talked about reaching out to the McDonald's headquarters or whatever on the corner, the other side of the.
It's usually pretty
It's
empty, that
usually
lot.
empty and just say, hey, would you allow us to use that for that day? They may not, but.
Yeah, I'm not sure how they feel about liability.
Right.
The school, respect the school, you don't have to get a use of permit from the building permit from the school. They have their own permit process.
Yeah.
Anytime I do a 5K myself, so I know you need to,
Yeah.
we need to get that. But that's my biggest concern here is just going forward is the traffic and dealing with the 500 people doing this. Certainly gonna have to have another officer on that day because, you know, that can be chaotic.
And just to give you a sense of timing, so the way I've sort of put this plan together is that the slowest participant, and just, we probably failed to mention this, so forgive me, but it's gonna be a 5K run and a 1 mile walk event. The intent is, or our plan is that the slowest participant will be no more than 15 minutes per mile. So that would really give us just around, we'll call it 45 minutes in total on the course. But as that waves through, we can start immediately opening up those streets once the runners are through various intersections. So, you know, I certainly appreciate your input and, happy to, you know, coordinate this time for us to
I'm
meet.
gonna be upfront with you, you're gonna have to take the bulk of this task of dealing with traffic.
Yeah, and,
Because, you know, we're a small department.
Yeah.
right.
It's a big,
Yeah.
it's a big, heavy lift for us to do.
Well, for what it's worth, working down in Luzerne County, the only participating agencies were Pittston and Wilkes-Barre. We basically had to fill in the municipalities in between. So I'm confident, I think the board is comfortable with the fact that we'll be able to probably obtain more volunteers than we actually need. But again, let's err on the side of caution. Safety is number one priority. And we will certainly make sure that, you know, we have all that covered. We don't want to put a burden on or attempt to put a burden on you. That's not what we're here for.
Just, so you know, Scott, the way that these things work is we don't actually have to vote on them. It's good that you guys are here presenting to us, we can ask questions. But as long as the borough manager and the police chief think you've checked all the boxes and sign off on it, then it's that they approve these things. It's
Okay.
just for us to count.
All right.
For sure.
Can you tell us how it all came about? The origins of this?
Yes, so the group, most of us in this room, here and on our board, we stumbled upon, the Lee Goes Pink event, down in Delaware. We went down there, it was actually for my wife's 40th birthday, and we just happened to be in town that weekend. They put on a great event, breast cancer, event, and they raised a ton of money. It goes to the Delaware Breast Cancer Coalition, all the money they raise. We've been going down, I think have gone down now 3 or 4 times. Really fun weekend, a really special weekend. And then I'll get emotional. 2 years ago, my wife got diagnosed. So we wanted to do something local here and keep money in the local community. So that's how it came about.
And that's what they did in Dewey, like it was raised for just Sussex County. The goal was here to raise it for people in our community.
So we were-
water stand.
I love the idea. It'll
Thank
be a
you.
great day.
I do
Yes.
too.
My whole family will be there.
Yes, thank you.
We
Appreciate
appreciate
it.
that.
You may have more than 500, Scott.
I think, yeah, we hope we do, but we'll deal with that if we,
Also,
yeah.
you can bring the cheerleaders, right?
Yes. And we're gonna open up our registration, March 1st, like early, just so we can see what kind of numbers we're getting. If we get a huge response early, we may shut it down. We don't want that many, but, it's our first year doing it, so we'll see. We're hopeful we'll get a good turnout.
I feel confident you will.
Yep.
I really do. Excellent.
Thank you.
And
All right, if you-
anything you need from the borough, you certainly can get in touch with us anytime for anything that pops up, any questions, or any way that we can help you. We're solid on this and we
Great.
want to do everything that's.
Stay in touch with me
Okay,
where you send the
yes, absolutely.
application
Yep,
and then like we can coordinate with the chief and all, so.
okay.
Sure.
We don't wanna take up too much time, but we do, and it is in the application. We are planning on doing like a little, like, party after the race.
Okay,
That's the goal. We'll hopefully shut down, just like the Ice Festival had this weekend, shut down the side street here.
right.
Hopefully bring a stage in and have a band and have a little party after the event, after the race. So that's all in the plan. I think there's a site map in there as well where we plan on, putting the stage,
Sure.
and things like that. So we don't want it to just end once the race is over, even though I think a lot of people will funnel out, but the streets will be open up at that point. Hopefully we can have access here, and just have a little get together afterwards.
Family friendly.
Family friendly, yes.
Okay,
All
well,
right,
you've put an awful lot of work into this and it.
yep, thank you.
We're gonna be successful.
All right, we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Appreciate it. And you're welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting. Okay, no problem here. Thank you. Next item on our agenda is our police report.
We're a lot to report, honestly. We're doing a DUI grant right now. We haven't had a chance to do much of it because of staffing problems, but it doesn't, it's really nothing big to report. I think we discussed last meeting. I don't know if you want. Is that later in the agenda, the civil service?
Well, Yeah, we could talk about it, well, whatever.
If you want.
Sure.
You wait.
Okay, so, we have it in, under old business, the civil service. Okay, so the Civil Service Commission did meet and they did, want to move forward with the test. So so I assume council would need to vote to, okay, so council would need to vote to authorize that we start with the advertising, purchase the test and move forward with that. So that's the first thing that we would need tonight. Secondly would be the cost of the test for the applicants. What I was able to determine so far is that the actual test costs $40 a piece for us to buy. But there is going to be a cost associated with, I sent a letter to Pete Smith, Abington Heights to, I guess the last time we used the Abington Heights Administration Building and had a proctor. That was around $500. So those were the costs associated with it as of right now. I don't have it firmed up with Abington yet, because we just said they had a meeting on Tuesday. So that's where we're at. We just need council, if you'd like to vote to move forward with it, I could advertise, we would start taking the applications. With the application, we would take a check. So that's what we need to solidify an amount. There's nothing in there, Jerry. There's nothing in there. No, because they just had the meeting. Yeah, I don't, there's no paperwork for it.
We just need some sort of, approval to go ahead.
To advertise.
So that'd be a motion to advertise the civil service test.
I'll make a motion to advertise the civil service test.
Second.
Okay, thank you, Kathleen. Do we have a second?
Steve did. Steve second.
Okay, on the question, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, papers have it. Thank you.
There's two other things I want to discuss real quick. One is, we interviewed a part-time officer, Richard Grenfell, who's a resident of Clark Street. He retired state policeman. And I'm not sure, what kind of hours he'll give us, but we interview him, the personnel committee. I'd like you maybe show, it's a favorable,
It was a favorable interview, and I think he was very interested in weekends, so, which is good.
Would you have it on the agenda?
It might be a little-
Yeah, I was gonna say we could move that ahead. And
Sure.
Get that one.
It's just gonna be a little hard to, it's not gonna be quick to hire him, because he's never had Act 120, but being a retired trooper, he could get his waiver through that, and there's a
Right.
process. And he's also been out of the work for a while, he hasn't been a trooper in a while, so I'll navigate that through. Hopefully we'll get him
Right.
hired, soon.
So we need just a motion to move forward with the begin the hiring process.
Hiring.
I make the motion.
It's just hiring, yeah.
Okay, we've made the motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Jean. On the question, all in favor?
Aye.
Papers have it, so.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Bob Shields has joined us. Lifesaver in my mouth. Bob Shields has joined us, just so you know, from Zoom. He was at another meeting. Mhm.
It's still
I
dark.
think he's in the car.
Oh, wow.
He's part of the meeting. Just so you know.
So, one other thing, last final thing is,
7-0, right?
we had our personnel meeting, we discussed, now, as you know, I'm retired. So, one of the things that I struggled with the entire time I've been as the chief is somebody that can second to me on that sergeant position. So, I think it's important that we try to get a sergeant here, because what happens is when I'm not here, when I go away overnight someplace, I'm required to put somebody in charge, and I
Right.
do. And the labor contract is a significant increase, they get paid significantly for that time I'm gone away.
Right.
With the sergeant, you would pay him roughly a full year, and it would be as, much per day. You have somebody in charge, and I think there is a clause in the contract for sergeants to pay anyway, it's like $1.25 an hour or something like that. I'm not sure what it is, I have to look at that, but
Right.
I just think it's always been a struggle for me when you have 19 people, when you deal with 10 part-timers, 2 civilians, and a full-time staff, and having nobody else below me. And so when having to deal with all those facets and not, it'd be nice to have a sergeant that can take on some responsibilities and duties. And in the event the chief becomes sick, injured, or unavailable for whatever reason, even away, you have a guy that he's already getting paid, and he doesn't have to worry about the OIC paying.
Right.
You just be the sergeant in charge. And that, I think it's an important thing, at this time, we don't have any rank, and most departments do. We just don't have a rank here. So even Dalton has a sergeant, South Abington has, we don't have, so I think,
Yeah.
the process would be is you'd have to set the criteria up in the civil service, and have to do a test, and it would only be inside tests, it wouldn't be public, it wouldn't have to be advertised because of the
Right.
fact that it's just, yeah.
Right.
So, and, I just think it's important, it's gonna benefit the next chief, more so than me, but. And I think it benefits the borough, not having to worry about,
Right,
Struggling,
exactly, yeah, yeah.
I don't anytime I go away, it's a big challenge, for me to go away.
We did have a sergeant at one point.
Did you?
Yeah, well, years ago, we had one, years ago, this
Yeah.
never did.
I think that's one of several things we need to
Mhm.
talk about on our finance committee.
Right, yeah.
I do.
Maybe
think
we can try to schedule a time and, like, on that particular topic, if you can get some numbers from us with Kevin from last year on how much did we actually spend on OIC
Mhm.
fees, that would be helpful.
Mhm.
I think he's gonna find it cheaper. So,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, we can look that out then.
I think, but I'm not positive, I'm pretty sure, but it's just not having the ability to consider. Yeah, it's just a struggle, it's one of my things that I've always struggled with as a chief, is that
Sure.
Excuse me, Chief Yarns. When are you specifically going to be retiring? Is it this summer or?
June 30th.
June 30th.
Okay, so that's coming up pretty quick. I noticed, I think they were talking about Jessup, and I saw something in the newspaper where their police chief retired. Are we doing anything right now in order to seek out a replacement, or? Okay, so that's coming.
He's asking if you're doing anything right now to seek out a replacement.
Have I done anything?
If you were council has done.
Oh, it's council's decision.
We need to start, we
I
certainly
was
need to
gonna
start
put it
talking
on the
about
work session.
that. Yeah,
I think that's definitely a council.
I think the finance committee needs to, with the personnel committee, needs to model out a couple different options for what we do. Certainly,
I
just
agree.
straight replacing you is one of those things. But we also need to make sure we know the cost of that versus other options.
Finance personnel want to meet before the next meeting, is that what? we're
I think we
thinking?
need to get on it, yeah.
Yeah,
And if so, would you have someone in mind as sergeant, if like, would that be something you
A
would
sergeant?
desire?
Well, obviously they'd have to test, and then once the test is completed, because we're civil service department.
Right.
And then, so, the civil service commissioner would have a criteria to be an officer for so many years, 5 years, whatever the criteria is, and those officers will be allowed to take the test. So,
Okay.
It's premature for me to have a person in mind,
Right.
you're gonna have to wait until the test results come back, to make that decision.
sure.
And that'd be, once again, a council decision on who they want to promote,
Okay. Well, our big job is trying to fill your shoes.
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna have to really get working on, Josh. Okay.
And while the chief is still here, just relative to the OLP contract, I
Right.
did speak with Chief Yarns about that. I spoke with the diocese. They're okay with the proposed MOU that was sent over to them. They just asked that council hold off this month on voting or doing anything with it because they still have some loose ends on their end from the diocese perspective
Sure.
prior to signing off on it. So they just asked us hold off and to maybe try to put it on, the March agenda. But it looks like it's kind of stalling out on the diocese end right now. They just need a little bit more time to fix a couple things on their end and clarify things. So I just want, well, the chief was here to know he's, in discussions with Our Lady of Peace relative to that, agreement.
And how's the chief, how do you feel about the staffing? Do you think we have people we can still, provide to the OLP and still be able to keep our responsibilities?
I think, the way it's structured right now, at a part-time status, part-time SRO, it would be okay. We do have one officer that's, we hired, and she's starting, actually works tomorrow again, by the way. She is a certified school resource officer. I think she knows the basic and advanced. The officer that we're hired tonight, Rich Grenfell, is an SRO, a school resource officer in Dunmore Borough, Dunmore School District.
Right.
So he has that, and he have the ability to help out. They're just part-timers now, so they're not full-time. So the also understanding in the MOU, I would do my best to fill those shifts, but I can't promise them every shift, every day, we just do what we can. And you're right, I don't want it to interfere with our current schedule, and I don't think that will happen in most cases. I think, I'll make sure it doesn't happen, let's put it that way.
Okay.
But, that's your answer.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. Does any other council member have any questions for our chief?
The other things for Chief Yarns to address, one of the council members or the public?
No complaints, that is a good sign.
Well, how about that?
It's always nice when I get a complaint.
Great. Well, could we, Madam President, can we excuse the chief? If there's no other
Absolutely.
questions?
No problem
All right.
whatsoever.
Thank
And
you.
we'll work on this.
Thank you.
Great.
How are you? Yeah, it's me. Still the same me. Yes.
That's the way it is.
Yeah, I know.
All right, Chief.
Silly.
Will you go, Dave? Oh, yeah, that's all right.
Officer Kaiser can sit.
Yes, he can.
I know.
Yeah.
All right, you got the phone?
Bye, Chief.
Yeah.
We don't have any bid reports.
No, ma'am.
Next item is our borough treasurer's report.
I'll make a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
Thank you, Josh, second by Steve. On the question, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Favors have it. 7-0. Vendor payments to be ratified.
Motion to pay the bills.
Thank you, Steve. Do we have a second?
I will second it.
Thank you, Sue. On the question, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Favors have it. Under rule of business, our PCC appointment.
Still looking.
Okay, thanks.
This just to keep it in mind if anybody has any ideas.
Is I saw it on the billboard. Has anybody called you and said, what is this?
Not one, and you know what I did? I have a gist obviously of what it is, and I spoke with Jamie Kresge, who did this many years ago.
Yeah.
If there's even one meeting a year, it's surprising. They meet
know.
so rarely, but it is an important job. So,
We may have someone who may be interested in that tonight. If we explain it to guys.
I don't know what's.
okay, it's with the tax, I can explain it to you, but it's so, the meetings are so rare, but it is something that we need. Bob Shields, right now, he was the alternate, so he took, the lead right now. He was looking to go back to alternate, so if we could talk about it.
Yeah.
If it's something you're interested in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds like that might work. And we're not, we already did our civil service.
We did, but we need to discuss the price, the cost to the applicants. They want to take the civil service test.
The Ford, when we met, suggested a lower price of $40 for each applicant rather than 75.
Right, it used to be
because
75, yep.
there are a lot of these guys they're part-time with other departments. It's gonna cost them more and they may not get the job.
Mhm.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Whatever, council, it was 75, I think 2023 is what we charged, but I know that's what you discussed is 40, so whatever council wants to do.
So there's actually a motion tonight to
Mhm.
council to decide. Tonight we can vote at a different time, but if someone has an idea as far as a number for the civil service test that was suggested, you can make a motion to vote on that this evening.
So what is the recommendation of the personnel committee?
It was to charge $40 for the test. There's a lot of these guys just, they're working different departments and
Yeah.
coming up with 75, we may not get a lot of applicants.
That's true.
And that's the thinking behind it.
I don't have a reason not to follow the recommendation of the personnel committee, so I'll make a motion that that's where we
Is
set our
it
fee.
$40? Yeah.
Great.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Jean. On the question, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, figures have it.
We'll get that advertised and out.
Okay. The next item is our Grove Street Bridge.
I finalized the MOU as discussed last week. Once it's sent over to this school district in Clarkson Elementary, at least there'll be something in writing now so that there won't be any issues as far as confusion over who is liable for maintaining the bridge from going forward with any snowstorms.
Good.
I have it on the agenda for a vote next time.
Yes.
Perfect.
Did we figure out who cleared the bridge on the north side?
It was the DPW apparently.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay, well, good, I'm glad they did.
they did. I know. It's good.
Good enough.
I still haven't heard back from Bedford, by the way. I reached out again, so I'm not gonna give up yet.
Okay, the next item is resolution 2026-06, revision of resolution 2026-02 to 408,009.
Council needs an explanation. We had an amount from 2026-02. It was revised by our engineers and we just need to revote on it to accept it, so.
Okay,
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2026-06.
Second.
okay, on the question, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, favors have it 7-0. And then resolution 2026-07, revision of resolution 2026-04, our mills correction.
Everything is correct now.
Everything's
Nothing has changed. Everything is now correct to be voted on.
okay. We have a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Jean. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Kathleen. On the question, all in favors?
Aye.
Aye.
All
Aye.
opposed? Favors have it 7-0. And then our ordinance 2026-01 for our COLA.
Oh, this is for the police pension, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And I was on the pension board when this was in discussion. Unfortunately, I guess there is going to be, it'll cost the borough a little bit down the road. I think there's estimated about 80,000. I have no objection to, cost of living things. Things have gotten more expensive, but at the same time, I was on the pension board with Officer Shedlock. And I know one of his great concerns was COLAs because that's sort of what kind of gets some police pension boards in trouble. Just because we can maybe do it through the actuary tables. I have a little bit of concern about the borough, so I'm going to vote no against this.
Okay.
Bob, can you elaborate on what you mean by leveraging the actuary tables to
Yeah, so
as a different way to approach?
we
Yes.
we have a financial advisor who looks at it. And after years, we have a very robust police pension. We've always paid, a lot of times other municipalities, they don't pay into it as they should. Therefore, it gets into distress. But we've been very financially responsible in that we've made the contributions, and it's in a really good place right now. But we haven't been giving COLAs in the past, and it's a May type of thing. But I voted against it on the pension board. As I said before, we've had that request before and it wasn't granted. This time around, it was granted in the police pension board, but I feel it's not in the best interests of the town or the police pension board to be giving COLAs at this time.
And maybe this is a question for you, Drew, but if the police pension board has approved this, are we obligated to follow suit, or are we free to not follow their recommendation?
My understanding was that once it's voted on, the council voting this was a formality. However, I'm not 100% positive on that. I did not know there's gonna be an objection this evening. My understanding was that that was a formality, and that by the council voting on it was just simply a formality after the recommendation by the board,
Right.
and that we cannot disrupt that board's decision. However, I can
Right.
confirm with that. If you want to table it to the next meeting or table it,
Let's
I can
table
do
it.
the
Well,
research. and
yeah,
provide-
because I guess a related item would be, is it in our collective bargaining agreement that we agree that both parties agree to follow the recommendation of the pension board, which would obligate us?
I believe that is, I don't have that, the collective bargaining agreement in front of me this evening, however, I could take a look at that. I could provide a memorandum to Borough Council with my recommendation on whether or not that is binding upon council,
Okay.
and that this vote would be a formality, essentially.
I personally would feel most comfortable getting your guidance before I vote on this, and I don't think there is any reason we have to do this month, right? This is not
We could
a,
table this, sure.
I believe that tabling would probably be in the best interest, just to ensure that we're above board and that there's no legal ramifications.
I would move that we table this till March then.
I'll second.
Okay. And we'll just put that on. The next item is our leaf boxes on the, municipal bid.
Municipal.
Municipal.
Mhm.
So,
Just need council's vote to move ahead with that.
do we have a motion to get our leaf boxes?
This was budgeted for, and we talked about this, right?
Oh, this is to sell them. I mean,
To
it's.
sell them on municipal.
Yes, we already bought them. We bought the ones last year. We're selling the
Right.
ones, the old ones.
Well, then, yes, I move that we list them on municipal. We will still have to vote to accept the bid, correct?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Kathleen. On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Favors have it, 4-0. And the next is, we've already hired Rich, so.
Mhm.
we're right by that.
We do the
But
safe
the
digging.
resolution 2026, our safe digging.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2026-08.
Thank you, Josh. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Jean. On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Favors have it 7-0. And of course, again, we hired Rich, so the next ones are recycling center fee, $75
So
a ton.
we were given
This is-
information from the recycling center, Lackawanna County Recycling Center, that if we do not normally bring our recycling there, which we don't, we go through JP Mascaro and they take care of it. They're gonna start charging us now per ton for our brush and our leaf collection. And we bring in, last year, 2025, we brought in 185 tons. And that comes to 13,800 that we would have to, and I talked to Jay, I don't think we don't really have another option that we know of yet. So, this is a pretty big hit. So
When will this actually kick in?
it started already. So May is usually when, they open up again to start with the brush. So
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody knows anybody or wants to, I don't know. I'm not sure.
I
it's
think
what to
maybe
do
we
here.
could table this and just see who can come up with some ideas too.
Sure.
to see-
Any thoughts?
Well, the only things we could do is make a decision to no longer collect brush, right? That's
Correct.
a service we
Essentially.
provide our residents.
Essentially, yes, because there's no place else to put it, not that amount.
We don't have any ability to tell the recycling center we're not paying it. We either continue to collect brush and pay it, or we don't.
From what I understand.
No.
I don't know if,
Several years back, our leaf collection, we were able to accommodate that without taking it to the recycling. We had, farmers land that they were using the leaves as actually as their fertilizer type thing.
they're not doing that any longer.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's the problem. We don't have that availability anymore.
Yeah, but it gives us an opportunity to really look into see if there's any other direction we can go.
Right.
And,
Any other thoughts on that? I'd be glad to look into it.
so between now and our work session, we should be able to
If there's anything, sure.
come up with something. If everybody else is in agreement with
I
that.
agree,
I
we'll get some
agree.
more information, yeah.
Okay. The next is the grant meeting.
Bob, did you want to take this?
Yeah, that's fine. So, Mike Fennick, Bob Nagley, Jen and myself, we met with Congressman Bresnahan's office. It was very interesting. They talked a little bit about federal grants. One of the people who work with Congressman Bresnahan worked in Harrisburg. So he also gave us a lot of information about state grants. We discussed a lot of different type of things, but the biggest things they thought we maybe should go for would be stormwater. And they had a lot of suggestions. They had a lot of ideas. They kind of told us about, how we need to, be able to package it, maybe come up with angles with economic development, and try to maybe work with other municipalities. If you can work with other municipalities, that can then may make it a bigger project and make it a unique project that they may be more interested in. All in all, I thought it was a good discussion. We do have grants out on the state level for stormwater. So don't have to recreate the wheel, but it was insightful. Our engineers seem to think that there is some opportunities for us. We just kind of have to develop, which grants we want to go for first and continue with the state grants. They suggested also maybe talking with our local state representatives in Harrisburg in order to see if we could kind of collaborate for seeking state and federal grants. But I think it was a good start, and it was I thought it was very well done. Anything you would like to add, Jen?
No, that sums it up. It was.
Okay.
And our engineers are involved, and we've got a couple projects, and we've been thinking about this for a while, so it's just hopefully trying to move things along a little bit more.
I know that we have occasionally had things related to regionalization.
Yes.
With stormwater management on
Yes.
our agenda. What is the status of that?
There hasn't been any update, because that was discussed. I think that was last year, maybe early last
So,
year.
Been a while.
It has been a while. I haven't received any other information about any new meetings or anything, so that's pretty stagnant right now.
Right, yeah, that.
But I think we just wanted to kind of update council and we're going to allow the engineers to kind of help guide us along in this, because with the grants, their expertise is necessary in order to do the grants successfully.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Bob. And does anybody have anything in council they'd like to report? I would like to just make a report on our ice festival. How successful that was this year. And we sold our homemade chicken noodle soup. Our rotisserie chickens were donated by Joe Kazoo from Garrity's. And Jen, if we can get a letter.
I sent it out already.
You did send it? Perfect.
Yep.
Okay. So I made, 15 gallons. So we only have 4 quarts left. So
They were lined up for miles.
people came back this year because they said they enjoyed it last year and they were hoping we would still have some. So,
Oh, that's funny.
so it was a big hit. At any rate.
It was.
And this goes for our Christmas lights. So,
Mhm.
the one hand washes the other.
Mhm, that's great. No, it's
We're happy
terrific.
about that. And, so, other than that, I wanted to thank Kathleen. She came and volunteered to sell our soup for us too. We were inside the gathering place. So that
Yes,
made
that
it a little
helped.
more comfortable.
We hope all the businesses did well for the day. and
They
turned out
did.
well.
Yeah. And it was great that Our Lady of Snows cooperated so well with us with
That's a big
parking
help.
and letting the food trucks park there.
Big help.
And they had all kinds of events for the kids. So,
Mhm.
you know, when you have people working like that with you, it really made it, a good event. So. Okay, so now we have that behind us.
Till next year.
Exactly. So we have no new business, our solicitors report.
I addressed everything, especially relative to the bridge and our.
Oh, good.
So. yeah,
Okay, correspondence, nothing. Okay, executive sessions prior, during, and subsequent, we had none. So we just have to have a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Kathleen.
Second.
Okay, thank you, everybody. And Guy, we want to get you all the information. This position is not.
Oh, thank you. Yep.
fair.
Have a good night. Take care.
Thanks, Bob.
Thanks, Bob.
Jen will fill you in on it.
Good night. So. Yeah. So just to.